excited after I got started. I thought my answer for the reason I was so slow is because I didn't have any time. I told this the other night. The only reason I ever quit my job and went full-time, I'm pretty much a coward across the board. The only reason I ever quit my job and went full-time was Miss Carlton. Donis, how you doing? Good. The only reason I quit my job, I'm ADHD too, by the way. If I see but anyway, I quit my job in May of 1991. The reason I quit my job is Miss Emma Jo Carlton, the superintendent of the Boyle County school system, told me federal funding, if you all remember back, there'd been a recession in 1990-91, a real estate recession almost. The long-term capital management had failed, and banks had failed, almost like today, not quite as bad as today. But anyway, federal funding had been cut for my program. I was the director of the homebound program for the Boyle County school system in 1990-91. I have been for the 3 previous years. My principal at that school was a guy by the name of Tommy Mills. Tommy Mills today is our CEO of this company. I'm still working for Tommy Mills. Can you imagine that? I can't get away from him. Where I go, there's Tommy Mills. But anyway, when I quit my job, I didn't have any intention to. Miss Carlton told me federal funding was cut. I would have to go back in the classroom teaching 5 periods of U.S. history every day. And I said, Miss Carlton, and I took out, back in those old days, remember some of us can remember back they had brown paper bags at the grocery store. I tore off a piece of a brown grocery bag sitting next to her desk. And I wrote out, I, Paul Orberson, resign as teacher coach, Boyle County High School, May 29, 1991. That's why I quit. I never meant to come into this industry, and I certainly never meant to come do this business full-time. Some of you have accidental stories. Some of us, as I said the other night, my daughter lives down the street a little bit in Charleston. My son's in Lexington, and he works at the company. But I want to tell you this, some of us, we think, I saw the other day where it was said, a quote was said by a pastor that I watch quite often, there are no accidental children, there are only accidental parents. Well, let me tell you something. I firmly believe, like a lot of you, all of that was carefully orchestrated. It just scared the life out of me, though. And when I got started, I thought, my goodness, I can't stand this line of work. I had to actually talk to somebody. People thought for a while I was a 007 in this type business because I wouldn't talk to anybody about it. I was kind of like a secret agent. You know, in Kentucky we say, alt 7. And yeah, that's what they say in Kentucky. That's the truth. There's no 007. It's alt 7. Alt is 0. And y'all think, y'all really are good. But we really are. But as I got started, I found as I got going, I wanted to do better than I was doing teaching school and what I've been making. When I came into this line of work, I was making $2,500 a month, clearing $2,500 a month teaching and coaching 2 sports. And went on to start for a couple of years and then started making some money. All of that said, your story, the story that you're making, the story that's going on in your life today is your story. And your story will be told to your children. Your story is going to be told to your grandchildren. And people are going to remember some of you for what you've done for years and years, decades, and perhaps lifetimes to come. Whether you do this business or not, hopefully in a financial way they'll remember us. You know, I've said many times, Henry Ford's great-great-grandchildren have no trouble remembering their great-great-grandfather's name. Unfortunately, most of us in this room cannot name a great-great-grandfather on either side of us.